What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Titan Report podcast. Game preview for the San Francisco 49ers. My name is Jax Weber. Appreciate y'all tuning in today. We have a lot to be talked about. We have the 49ers game preview versus the Titans. We got to break down a lot of stuff from there. We're going to talk about the National Predators. They're heating up, man. They got a big win, 7-2 last night. We do want to break that down. NFL headlines. We got some baseball we're not talking about, some college football. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We have a lot to break down. Let's kind of kick off things. Let's talk about Thursday Night Football. How about Kirk Cousins, man? 30 for 44, 373 yards, man. 3 touchdowns and no picks, 1 sack. Kirk Cousins had a really good game yesterday. How about Bijan doing Bijan things? 19 for 93, 1 touchdown. Did fumble the ball once, but again, wasn't costly. Surprised for Tampa. They gave it right back. Kyle Pitts, man, the star of the game, 11 receptions, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wow. Kyle Pitts had a really, really nice game. That was really nice to see that as well. A couple of controversy calls. We do want to bring those up as well. But, man, Atlanta, man, I know they're 5-9. They're eliminated. But you know what? They're facing a couple of teams now in the next couple of weeks. And they just disrupt the NFC South. They beat Tampa. Now Carolina is now number 1. And that is going to be controversy hitting down the rest of the line for the rest of the season because the Panthers played Tampa 2 times in the next 3 weeks. So a lot of people are going to be watching that and seeing how that's going to go down. And it's very interesting because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were favored to come in this game, they blew a 14-point lead. So in the next couple of weeks, it'd be Carolina and Tampa Bay. They will face each other next week at Carolina, and then Tampa will be playing next weekend. The weekend after. Tampa Bay will be playing at Miami. Carolina will be playing at Seattle. And then the last week of the season, it'll be Carolina at Tampa Bay. It'll be an interesting one, and I think a lot of people are interested to see where that's going to go. And very exciting. We should see how that's going to go, that they split, or if someone's going to sweep, or going to take 2, or going to sweep, or they're going to tie. Whatever's going to happen, we'll find out when that happens. But Baker Mayfield looked really inconsistent tonight. He underthrew a lot of throws. He had 2 touchdowns, took 5 sacks. Tampa not really get the running game going too well, only averaged 3.5 on the ground. Kind of struggled for Tampa. But overall wise, Atlanta barely got the win. And let's check off some playoff standings because we got a lot to be talked about from this playoff race. It looks very interesting now, and I think a lot of people want to check this one out. I want to hear this one. So for the playoff picture currently right now, number 1 in the AFC is currently the Denver Broncos. Currently, they got a big win last week. They're still number 1 in the AFC. New England was on a bye. And this week, Denver is at Green Bay. New England is at Buffalo. Then it's Jacksonville still at number 3. Then it's Steelers at Miami. And then you got the Chargers playing KC. That's going to be a really good game this week. That's underrated. Then you got the Bills. And then you got the Texans. The Colts are currently outside. Currently, playoff probability is 24%. If they win, it'll be up to 53. But if they lose, it'll be back to 24. Currently, it's 28, excuse me. But, man, the Colts are in big trouble. And speaking of the Colts, they brought in Phillip Rivers. How about that? The Colts brought in a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people are controversy. And if you listen to Buck's show, Nate Washington brought this up. He's like, yeah, a lot of people are here saying, in the group chat, hey, let's go back in the league. This is insane. I know Cam Newton's a little bit upset about it. No, Cam, you should not be upset about that. So, but man, that is insane just for Phillip Rivers. We'll see if he's going to start. I looked at it earlier. It sounds like he might. It kind of sounded like earlier that he is going to start Sunday. Riley Leonard is practiced all week, but we'll find out later today, or might find out on the show if the Colts to release. I'm keeping my close eye on that and seeing if Phillip Rivers is going to start. And if he does, he'll be set back 5 years in the Hall of Fame. So there you go on that front. All right, let's get into another headline before we talk about the Titans and 49ers. All right, so a lot of people are kind of upset, really, I guess, about Cam Ward's attitude, which really led to this headline from Will Bowling, 1045 The Zone's morning show, Ramon and Will. First and foremost, I think a lot of people are really taking this not great. I think in the way, I think these people are really, really surprised. And I think it's overreaction. I think people are also missing the point. The thing about Cam is he's always has a high standard. We all knew this from Cam heading in from the college to the draft to now and in the playing. So I don't think this is really a surprise. I think a lot of people should be not surprised about this. And I like that energy from Cam. Number two is because, yeah, you got to win. You got a 2-point win. Yeah, cool, good. But he didn't play well. And that's the truth. You're a 2-11 football team. I think people really should sugarcoating this and be like, he's excited, yeah, but like he's a guy that doesn't really show much emotion in that. Of course, he got the win, sure, but again, he didn't really play too well. 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, the one bad pick. If you don't play well, that's what's going to happen. And you know what? Good for him because you don't want to let your guard down. And the next week you lose. So then again, that's another thing about the hangover, which we'll talk about later on. But I think that's good energy from Cam. He wants to be better. He needs to be better. He's saying, hey, it's a good win. He's not saying it's not. But man, dude, I think people were way overreacting about this. Number three, I'm just gonna say this. He's Will Bowling's a sideline reporter for the Titans radio. I will say this. It is very concerning that if you're on the team playing, I'll quote, Arden Key gets on the intercom and says, you all enjoy this. Don't listen to what Cam said. You all enjoy this. It's hard to win in this league. Well, first of all, if you're a sideline reporter, do not put that out on national radio. It's going to get leaked. It's just going to happen. I know you want to talk about it, but don't say that. I mean, you're on the team playing, you're doing your job. That's just something you just do not say. And I think everybody in or outside of media knows that you just cannot say things like that. I'm not dissing him, I'm not saying anything bad, but I know he apologized and that's good on him, but just don't make the same mistake again. And you got kicked off the team playing. So, but again, it's tough because that, and again, that pisses people off. It pissed off Keith Bullock, which I don't blame him as well. The thing with the media, and it's the biggest problem nowadays, is that they want to get into everything. They want to know everything. They want to get the top of the line. There's people from baseball to hockey to NFL who want to get on the top of the line of things. And then they just, like, the guard from players goes down and down and down. The players every single year lose trust and trust and trust in the media. That's a big issue, right? And I think people got to understand and just be like, well, people in the media got to be more careful. People in the media cannot say things like that. I think hopefully we'll go from it, not do that again, and that's good on him. So, not dissing him, not just saying that, but then just saying my opinion. You can't do that again. Be careful what you say, and now you got to face the consequence. So that's just how life works. So I just do want to bring up that topic because I think that's just really interesting. So. Anyway, on that point, let's get into some things. I think the Titans can win against the 49ers, man. Look, I'll say this from last week. I'm so proud of this team, man. And I truly said this last week on the show. This team's starting to look like a complimentary football team. I know against Jacksonville was bad, but against Seattle, against Houston, it was better. And then against Cleveland, it was better into the fourth quarter. I love it, man. I think this team's starting to look better. And you know what? And I know it's late in the season, but man, ladies and gentlemen, if this is going to look like this team going on the rest of the year, I'll love it. We got San Francisco, and then we got KC, who has been struggling. We got the Saints, who we can obviously, I think we get a win against the Saints. And then boom, and then we play Jacksonville either on that Saturday or Sunday, which TBD, I'll let you guys know. We might go to that. I might go to Jacksonville. We'll see. We'll let you guys know. But I think this team is just looks so much better. This leadership is starting to come control. A lot of these guys are going to be here next year. We'll find out. We'll find out in the offseason. This offseason will be wild. We'll see how much the Titans spend. I mean, then they have the most money in the league. But I think when you head into next year, this draft class is really good and okay at best. I mean, there's some good weapons in there. We'll talk about later on. But the biggest question is for you guys is if you guys want the Titans to win or lose out. That's going to be the question of the show. And I truly am just getting my opinion. I don't want to lose, man. Why? I mean, at this point, as a Titans fan, you want to see hope going into next year. Losing's not going to get you anywhere. Cam Moore said this earlier. It's like you got to lose to win. And yeah, obviously, yeah, that's true. But where are we going to go losing, ladies and gentlemen? That's going to be the question here. Where are we going to go losing? I want to get a win against San Francisco. I want to get a win either KC or New Orleans or whoever. Jackson. I love to upset Jacksonville. I can really see the Titans getting maybe win or two in these next 4 games. I would love to see it. But yeah, I mean, I know how much you guys want the Titans to lose. But then again, the biggest question is if we lose, who do you guys want to pick next year in the draft? Because if we lose, we're going to stay probably top 3. If you go down, you maybe be at number 5. I'm fine being number 5, man. The quarterbacks obviously go first. Ruben Bain goes probably number 1, with number 2 in there, especially where the Giants or the Raiders play. Let somebody fall to us, like a Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon weapon in the draft. Carnell Tate's right there. So there's going to be some teams who might want to trade up. Obviously, I know people want to trade back, but then again, do the Jets want to get a quarterback? Do the Saints want to get a quarterback? Because Tyler Shuck played pretty decently well last week. So that's a conversation having forward later in the future. But I want to win, man. I want to get this win. I want this team to be hungry. I want this team to be poised. I want this team to be ready. And it seems like that way for many, many weeks. I want to see that 100%. Yeah, look, the biggest conversation here is the Titans can get back-to-back wins since November. Yeah, November 2022, man, against the Packers and the Broncos, flip-flop them, and those are the last time we got back-to-back wins, man. That's insane to me. And funny enough, on this day, December 12th, which is the day we're filming this day we're going out, it's the only time I saw a Titans win. I've not seen a Titans home win in about 4.5 years, crediting on to number 5, which is absolutely insane to me, which I've been in so many Titans games. I'm there almost every single week. We moved out here last year. You guys will find out everything about me in the offseason. But I want to get a win, man. I really want to see this team get a win. Last week was good. Build on it. Don't be a hungover slump. Do things better and, work on that and then go forward. I think this team this offseason is going to have to figure out a lot of things in the secondary. L'Jarius Sneed will give an update in just a little bit in a moment, but we'll see about that as well. So the judge is going to delay L'Jarius Sneed's trial. So this is basically meaning that the Titans cornerback, there's his lawyer, and we got a little text thing from Sneed. So I guess there is a text. I'm not sure who is this about. We don't know who this is. Unidentified party. Sneed, this was a text that was from his attorney. But we'll see. We'll find out about that as well. So obviously, I think a lot of Titans personnel is going to be there. Obviously, Borgonzi, Brinko, or Chad Brinker, Burke Nihill could be there. Callahan could be there. We don't know. We'll see. But it is being pushed back. We don't know when this will be. I will say this, though. This is not a good look. And the biggest question is if he does get caught, if he does go to jail, and we don't want to see that, or if he's going to get fined, or both, then the Titans get that money back, which is going to be the biggest question. We have to see that first and foremost. We have to see if also he's going to be here next year. We don't know if he's going to be here next year or not. We don't know what's going to happen to Sneed. And that's going to be a big question heading into offseason because I think a lot of people will be like, oh, Sneed's going to get cut. It's not that easy. So, again, we'll talk about that heading on January, February. We'll talk all about that. But that's the recent update about Sneed is the trial is getting pushed back. I think he said maybe March. I think that's what I heard. Maybe around early March is what it says. So we'll talk about that as well. All right. Before we get into baseball, before we get into college football, we'll talk about three ways. I think the Titans can get a big win against San Francisco on the road. So currently it's a 12.5-point favorite. And I truly think this is absolutely, I don't know. I'm not taking that 12.5-point underdog. I probably think this is probably more probably maybe 7, 8. Just San Francisco. Yeah, they got a blowout win against Cleveland, but in Carolina, but Arizona as well. So I kind of see the reason why, but we have to see. The last time the Giants faced them was week 12, it was week 9, excuse me, and they only won by 10. So I really realistically think this could be a 7 or 8.5-point underdog for the Titans, especially after last week. All right, so my 3 ways to get the Titans to get a win here, as we always talk about. Number 1, stop Christian McCaffrey. I don't think anybody should be really surprised. McCaffrey is one of the best RBs in the league right now. He has 849 yards on the ground so far, 8 touchdowns. But he's also the best receiver on the 49ers too, 806 passing yards with 5 touchdowns. So McCaffrey, if you limit him, that'll be a nice start. San Francisco's offense runs by him. If you limit him down, and either it's the run game, the pass game, you slow him down, make him work for those extra yardage. It's going to be the biggest thing as well. Titans got to have a good personnel scheme as well and see where they're going to go. from that perspective. Number two, get the running game going for the Titans again. Keep on running the football. Make the 49ers defense tired. I know they're 12th in rushing, but the 49ers defensive line has taken a lot of hits this year. And this defense in just general, Farrell and Huff they're both tied with sacks in the league with 4.5. Simmons has 8. So I think the Titans, just to take advantage of their defensive line, the tackles keep playing well, get the running games going. Obviously, Lloyd Cushenberry is most likely coming back this week. So, again, take advantage of that. I think that'll be really good for the Titans, and we'll see about that as well. So, again, I would love to see that as well. And I think Titans fans would love to see the Titans running game just to get explosive, just to get going as well. I think that would be good for the Tennessee Titans. That's my number 2 way to get a win as well. So, number 3 is we will do this. Number 3, my biggest takeaway, Cam Ward. Again, I think we want to see Cam have a better game. Yes, obviously, I think a lot of people were upset last week that he wasn't having a better attitude. But again, like I explained, we knew that was all Cam. But again, I think we just want to see more consistency. We want to see more better throws. He underthrew a lot of throws against Cleveland. I think Cam will have a better week. So I think this will be a good time for Cam Ward to attack the 49ers, which is 25th in the league with pass. So again, take advantage of that. And I think add on to that, get more time possession. Make sure you stay on the field as long as you can. Obviously, the 49ers have not allowed points in the opening drive in 3 straight games. Third longest active streak in the league right now. So, again, I think you just got to take advantage with that. So, those are my 3 things. I do got an update. I do want to break this down. Another NFL headline. Steelers standout TJ Watt underwent surgery Thursday to repair a partially collapsed lung. TJ Watt expected to be discharged from the hospital today. He's unlikely to play Monday night versus the Dolphins. Prayers for him. He obviously JJ Watt put this out there. Man, that's a very scary situation. I'm praying for him and his family. Hope all is well. Man, this is just you hate to see that. And that's when JJ Watt on X he put that out there. So praying everything's going well for him, and obviously he won't be playing Monday, and he'll get back. So. And then obviously just want to break that down. So obviously that's my thing. We're just want to get some NFL headlines, man. Oh my gosh. Phillip Rivers, number 1. Welcome back to the NFL, right? I mean, again, the Colts, like we mentioned earlier, hanging out for a playoff spot, and you bring back Mr. Unk himself. I mean, a lot of people like Cam Newton and Colin Kaepernick are upset in the league. You guys had your moments. Colin Kaepernick might maybe make sense, but Newton, you had your moment. That's it for it. I'm sorry, but the Colts obviously are familiar with Phillip Rivers. They know him really well. Stain Shiken knows him really well. And I think this is a good move for the 49ers, or excuse me, for the Colts, just to bring back Phillip Rivers. And obviously, we'll see if he can lead into the playoff spot. Obviously, they're hunting off the ball a lot. Really interested to see if he's going to start this week. Riley Leonard is the reason why, because he has a PCL. They kind of said he will be starting. But I think people in the Colts organization are expected Phillip Rivers to start. Again, we've not heard any updates as of yet. We'll find out sooner than later if we're going to have any updates from that perspective. We'll find out. You just check out any source. I do want to say this. Another headline we do want to get into number 2, not in the NFL, but headlines around the sports world. Sharon Moore got detained, arrested, and he got fired from Michigan. I hope I'm just going to say this as respect. I hope he gets help. I hope he, just gets everything right. Obviously, I'm not going to say everything that's going to go on the channel because I don't want to get flagged. But yeah, he got charged of entering third-degree stalking, and he is in major trouble. Hope he's okay. Prayers for him and just to him to get back on his feet. You don't like to see that from anybody. All right, so we're going to talk about some baseball now. I mean, again, every single time this happens, the Dodgers did it again, and I'm going to talk about the biggest headlines. And I'm just going to say this first and foremost. Edwin Diaz, what a good move from the Dodgers, but what a bad move from the Mets. The Mets organization What are you doing? Respectfully, I don't know what Steve Cohen or David Stearns has in plan for the Mets, but oh my gosh, if you're a Mets fan right now, you're kind of like looking yourself and you're like, what are we even doing? We just let the face of the franchise go. Pete Alonso to the Orioles, Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers, and then you lost Brandon Nimmo, which I don't think was really surprising in a way, but holy smokes. Are you serious? So yeah, I mean, I really think the Mets are in kind of trouble here. I know you got Devin Williams, but holy smokes, that's a question to look at. And we'll break it all down. But holy smokes, folks. I don't know what the David Stearns and Steve Cohen are doing. But obviously Pete Alonso's still out there. Obviously Kyle Tucker's still out there. So I truly think this is not the biggest MLB offseason so far because just in a couple ways, this is not too many biggest names, but there's some big stars in here. Obviously, Dylan Cease went to the Blue Jays, 7 years, $210 million is still the biggest contract. Kyle Schwarber, 5 years, $150 million at $30 million a year. How about that? So you have Alonso and Schwarber. Both we have Alonso who leaves and Schwarber who stays. And then obviously Josh Naylor stays. Edwin Diaz, man, the Dodgers is insane. That's about $23.5 million per year. Good deal. But Robert Suarez, again, I don't know how you let him go to Atlanta in your division, New York. Again, the Mets are kind of losing this offseason, in my opinion. 3 years, $45 million. But pretty much, I mean, obviously, Iglesias back to the Braves. Again, the biggest question here is if Iglesias is going to close for the Braves, and they kind of said yeah, but they also said Suarez is going to be the setup man. So I don't know how long that's going to last. My Angels have not really done much. It's kind of just I'm not surprised, but holy smokes, I could be either good or bad. So anyway, so yeah, my formal thing is this offseason is really still young. We'll see what's gonna happen. I'm excited. Obviously, the Blue Jays have been really big spenders so far this offseason, getting 2 new starting pitchers. We'll see where this is going to going. I'm very excited to see about this as well. All right. Before anything, appreciate you all checking out the show. It was a good episode, a lot to break down, a lot to talk about. Hope you guys enjoy the game Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. Hope the Titans can get a win, and then talk to y'all Monday morning at 10 a.m. See y'all then.